Well, hi Taurus, this is Tara and welcome to your Teen Psychic Tarot forecast. And that's right, you heard me correctly. I'm doing the full month of May instead of the mid-month to mid-month. I'm changing that around a little bit, as well as pulling the cards a little differently. I'm going to separate the minor suits, the suit cards, from the major arcana. So I'll pull 4 suit cards to give you sort of the essence of the month, and then 2 major arcanas for, the big lessons, the big experiences that come out of that. Well, we have cards falling. And I've seen what both of them are. All right, so let's just go from there. And this is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Really wanting to speak to you. Okay, so these last 2. All right, here we go. Sun, Moon, and Rising. So watch the video, see if these messages resonate. And I would always say watch your rising and moon sign as well, especially your rising sign. Sometimes people will say, well, that correlates more with what's going on with me than a real sun sign. Okay, so we have the King of Swords and the Knight of Wands. And we have the Ten of Wands and the Two of Swords. So we have 2 sword cards and 2 wand cards. So this means to me with the swords, there's a lot of thinking, thought, concern, thinking about things, and then the wands represent your work. So thinking about your work, Taurus, what's going on with your work. So let's take a look at this. Here's the King of Swords. This represents to me usually an air sign, which would be Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Probably a male, but this could very well be a strong female, someone who makes decisions, I want to say quickly, but they're decisive. They're very decisive, and they've made huge decisions in their life. They're not afraid to take action based on those. They're a bit of a philosopher, a thinker. They're an air sign. They're in their head a lot. But this guy, the king, has mastered the art of making decisions and do it rather quickly. Now, it's interesting what we have here. We have the Knight of Wands facing this King of Swords. So this wand card, of course, is about the work, our work in life, our passion, what we do, our everyday work that we go to. And it looks a little bit like, to me, what I'm getting from this is there's a little bit of a confrontation with this Knight of Wands. He's ready to take action. This is a very fiery, this represents the signs of Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, fire signs. And this particular wand is probably the most, let's do it. Let's make things happen. What are we waiting around for? And so there possibly could be some clash between these 2 people. Now, these are both court cards, and not all of you Tauruses were born on the same day, same month. Oh, and happy birthday to you, Taurus. Happy birthday. But you're born, some of you, the end of April, which is right now. I'm doing this video on Saturday, what is today, 27th. And the majority of you were born in May. So again, these people represent different folks to all of you, but I'm just saying what I'm getting of them and how they come off in their personalities. So this feels like this is possibly a work situation, and maybe this person's very decisive, and some of the others, let's just say this is a company situation. I'm just giving you an example. This is a company situation. Here someone sits who just will not get off this throne and not, follow or go by others' opinions, goes by their own opinion. I apologize. This particular person wants to rear up and say, hey, now wait a minute. That's not what the rest of us want, or that's not what I want. And really wants to take charge and gives this person here, this King of Swords, some challenges. Definitely, because this is a fiery person. It could be male or female. And this could be male or female as well. So think about that, how that could work out. Then we have the Ten of Wands facing the Two of Swords. Very interesting, because this Ten of Wands means wanting to put burdens down, but still carrying these burdens on your back. It also means some being self-critical about your decisions. Like because she's sitting here, I can't decide. Her hands are over her heart. She has her eyes wrapped. There's water behind her, so there's emotion in which way she's trying to go. But there's also a bit of, this is really a burdensome feeling, and I'm ready to let go of this burden, but I'm going to have to choose. In order to let this be a lighter load, you're going to need to choose. And it's interesting how I see a new moon here. So this new moon could indicate, let's see, when is the new moon in the next one coming up? I believe is it the 4th of May? So around the 4th of May, and even 2 weeks later, the full moon, you have some decisions to be making, Taurus, in order to feel better about where you're going and what you need to do. Okay, let's pull some major arcana cards and see what the major lessons of this month is for Taurus. Okay, these two wanted to come out. Let's see what they are. Okay, well, we have the Hermit and the Hierophant. So the Hermit is asking you to go into your own feelings and thoughts. Introspection, contemplation. This would really fit in well with this sort of indecision to relieve this burden that you've got going on. How can I relieve this burden? How can I make work easier and balance it with life, with play life? So the Hermit goes out, he walks on his path, he has his lantern, and he looks on the inside. Okay, and then we have the Hierophant. There's a lot of spiritual growth, a lot of, by doing this, you're going to possibly set boundaries, know what you want for yourself, know what your values are. And that's important. If we know what our values are, then we know what's important to us. Say value is, I'm going to put in a full day's work, but after work, I want to go home and be with husband or wife or pet, or I want to go listen to music, or, I need to go shopping or church or whatever you do. And this would be maybe about church. It's about more of a dogmatic or a situation it can be, or spiritual learning, just that type of learning. So, like I said, there may be some boundaries that you need to set for yourself. Oftentimes, we get the feeling of being put in a corner like a cat, and then it's really us that needs to say something. So let's take a look at the crystal, see what the crystal has to say. For Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, excuse me just a moment while I look at this, because I am trying to figure out, I'm getting large animals for this particular month, and yours is not different. All right, so every once in a while I will get a bear, and lots of times it's a polar bear, it's a white bear. This time it's a black bear. Every animal has their great qualities and distinctions. And so this might be something to do with feeling your power. And so Google bear, especially the black bear, not the polar bear. And you want to look at their instincts, their personalities, how they deal with their everyday life, how they survive. Interesting. I've been getting the largest animals, elephants. What was another one that was real interesting? I think a kangaroo yesterday. Very, very interesting. Okay, so the mask comes up for you all. It has 3 times. You are 5th reading for this particular series, and so it's showing up. So this is a person that would be deceitful, tricky, not telling everything, standing behind the scenes or acting like it. And so, it's just for you to notice. It's not the feeling, I'm not getting the feeling of, oh gosh, you're going to get pulled into something you don't want to. Just be aware of this person and maybe not interact with them. They do seem rather vocal. Gosh. So just be cautious about that. What else comes up for Taurus? Anything else for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising? Okay, what is this disc? Disc. It's a black disc. Okay. I was going to say, could be something to do with music. That's what I thought, but usually the discs or the CDs are silver. Hmm. You know, some of you be into UFOs, the I don't want to say metaphysical. I mean, a lot of you be metaphysical, but yeah, UFOs, outer space, aliens. Maybe you've been abducted. It's how many stories have you read about people all over the world who feel like they've been abducted, and they've told their story, and or you've seen one, a flying saucer. Okay, so I know that's unusual. Not everybody is going to resonate with that, but those few of you who did, then maybe that's coming up that has will resonate and maybe possibly come up for someone out there. Okay, Taurus, thank you so much for your time today. I wish you the best. You all, and I feel like I've been saying this a lot for the signs, stay balanced, stay grounded, stay focused on what you want. Make the decision based on your heart. There's water behind her. And what your heart feels is right. And go inside of yourself. There's a lot of spiritual learning around this. Okay? All right. Be well. Take care. Take care of yourself. Love one another, especially yourself. And I will see you soon. Oh, and if you want to order your own private reading, look in the Show More section below. And please remember to subscribe. Okay. Thank you, Taurus. Have a great one. Bye-bye.